Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific. Welcome to our interview program. First, we want to thank Geek House to host this interview. And this is a very unique venue where Facebook or Meta was founded several years ago. And in our today's interview, we want to welcome Brandon Wang from Synopsys. And Brandon, first, thank you very much. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, I've been in Silicon Valley for more than 30 years, right? So I started with the designers. Currently, I'm in the corporate strategy group at Synopsys. I was very fortunate to caught the internet boom when Silicon Valley moving from silicon to internet. And later I was with a company called ARM. We make the technologies that enables the mobile era. So again, very fortunately, grow with the mobile and see the valley from silicons to internet to mobile applications. And in the last 6 years with Synopsys, I'm focused on the corporate strategy, look at how a company sets strategy and enables both organic and inorganic growth.
Thank you. And also, I remember correctly, you are the vice president from the CEO office of Synopsys, yes, right? And in charge of corporate strategy, which is great.
Lessons and examples that helped my career development.
You are quite successful in your professional career. Maybe the first question is, could you kind of reflect your, kind of a culture background, whether it gives you some advantages or give you some challenges in your professional development that leads you to who you are today professionally?
No, I'm absolutely not optimized or maximize my careers. It definitely, but looking back, I felt like, early stage, maybe touching up a different area is critical. I know that you can, easily fall in love with one thing, but as you become more seniors, and you know that a lot of time you rely on your intuitive judgment. I know we're in the era of data driven. Yeah. We use it all the time, but it's always to use the data to help you to do the judgment. So I always benefit by explore many new things in your early part of the career. Don't say, hey, I'm a machine learning engineer and that is doing
only that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you need to try different things, right? I started my career as a designer, so I've been designing anything I could possibly silicon can do, from communications to CPUs to memories to interface networking. Like, I'm not rejecting any of the area. The good thing now looking back is that I always felt myself had a little bit tangible understanding of certain that helps me to really be able to kind of tap in. It's quite different if even you spend just 2 months of hands-on something versus some area that you have never done yourself.
That kind of broadening your scope.
Yeah, I mean, I still look at the domains I have zero tangible experience, and it turned to be very difficult because I don't really have an intuitive judgment. So that's a good thing in your early career, is not contain yourself into something, right? Just explore, not only on the technology side, but also in type of companies. Right? It is great to be an entrepreneur, to even join a startup, understand how startup runs. Your opportunity cost for joining a startup at the early stage of your career is much lower than at your senior years.
That's true.
And so do it, right? So it's not just about, oh, I want to learn these things. From business sense, is to jump into different entities, different companies, feel their culture, and understand how it's run. whether you are the founders or you are the early employer. So mixed together with your larger corporate experience, that's another horizon you look at it, versus the technology domain that you try to dab off. Yeah.
That's great. Actually, these are all great advice to young people. Do you have other kind of career development advices, especially on, let's say, the human skill side of it, besides these professional skills, perspectives?
You mean soft skill?
Yeah, soft skill area, for example.
Yeah, I think in general, I think that we, for everybody grown up and raised in different countries, have different kind of culture instinct, right? Not something that you can change immediately.
Yeah, that's true.
And not try to change immediately. You have to learn, adapt, but meanwhile, keep thinking about what other things I can leverage and take advantage of it. I'm going to give two examples.
That's
one
great.
One is adapting. The second one is leverage. Adapting, for example, that if you really think about how you become more senior, you need to really understand, let's say if you're in the US, you understand the culture.
Right.
One of the areas that we need to build is your executive presence. It's it's a very soft skill, but you need to really gradually build that.
What do you mean executive presence?
Yeah, it's a soft skill combining with leaderships, your charisma, your attitude, your team building capabilities. It's basically, in the short is when you walk into the room, how you shine as a leader.
Okay.
Yes, those are very not necessarily part of us. If you were raised in more Asian communities, you learn how to be modest, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I say you have to adapt. And depending on which region you're going to start your company, that you have to adapt the culture. That's one example. The second one is the leverage.
Leverage.
Leverage about what you already have and maximize the value of it. The example is I always think about reciprocal principle, because that's very strongly rooted in a lot of Asian community raised up.
Right.
How do you pay back to the people?
Right.
Yeah. But then you look at it in the corporate career-wise, this is a very widely adopted principle, right? So how do you build a relationship by, build this reciprocal relationship
with the different departments, colleagues.
Okay. We always talk about the soft skill of managing with our authorities. Really,
influence in a sense.
Yeah. So, but how do you influence? That it's really reciprocal, means that every single day you are asking people about how do I help you, or how do you need, and you always provide a helping hand. Sometimes your 1 hour help is worth 1 day's of work, right? Because of your skill set, your experience. Don't be shy away from giving out that help, because every activity you do, you deposit a little chips into your bank.
That's true. Yeah.
And as you build this credibility, then when the time you need it, when you withdraw, you will see how powerful that influence, that credit you have in order to build, right? So this is a principle, a reciprocal principle that for a lot of Asian community is part of us when we grow up. Yeah, that's true. And maximize it and be proactive on it, so that you will be able to really become a leader, because you will realize a lot of time is about pulling different stakeholders together. And I always, this is something that I cannot assign you as a task, or your manager cannot say, hey, Brandon, do this. Right. Because it's not the regular charter. Right. But it will come into efficiency to manage you. For example, I told my team to say, I need this to be done in a week. Different team member come back. Some people, they get it done overnight. Some people, it takes 3 weeks. And then ask them, what you do in the 3 weeks? The 3 weeks guy is trying to build the credit, build the inference within that time frame in order to move the needle.
Oh,
The guy get things done in one day is because he has built all these based on the reciprocal principle already. So when I call him and say, hey, Roger, can you get it done? He is comfortable to call that other guys at 11 p.m.
Oh, I see.
He say, hey, what's that? Right? The other guys say, can we make an appointment to have a lunch next week? So it is all built. And my measurement as a manager, I just look at how quickly you get
That's true, the outcome, yes.
Yeah, the outcome, right? So, but the outcome is not really happening about your capability, how good skill you have at that moment is accumulation of that. So I'll give this another example to how you leverage yourself, right? So, you know, you need to look at adapting and leverage two parts concurrently in order to maximize your value.
Thank you for watching.